Right off the bat, I don't even have to think about it, it's people. Our people are just straight up better.
This is the Healey Brothers Show.
Today we're kind of just going to be, I don't want to use a phrase like all over the place, we're going to hit a lot of topics where it comes to like how Healey like empowers employees or engage with the community, like anything you can think of, not just like hitting on used cars or anything. It's going to kind of be like a broad episode. So like the first thing, which I'm going to ask a question, but then I'm going to lead into it for our audience to hear like a story, is like the culture at Healey. So obviously, how would you perfectly explain the culture at Healey?
I mean, so we got producer Nicky back on top leading the way here. So we got to hopefully keep me on topic today. So I mean, obviously, culture is a huge part of Healey. First off, I might be a little biased. I think we have some of the best culture. I mean, not just in the auto industry, but definitely in our community. So culture to me means that everyone loves to come to work. Everyone wants to help a customer, no matter what it is, even if you're having a bad day, but everyone around you makes you better. And I think Healey, that's one thing we do, and we always stick to one of our core values is family. And we want everyone to feel that when they walk in. I would say that's the biggest part. I know that sounds very generic.
It might sound generic, but once you're done, I'm going to follow up.
Yeah, to most listeners, but it really is a family here. And I think if you asked every one of our family employees here, they would say Healey is a family-owned company and that treats you like family. And that's how we want every customer to feel when they walk in the family. We want them to feel part of something bigger. We want to know about our employees at the same time, what our employees are going through, their families growing, the birthdays of their kids. Those little things matter, and they matter to us. More than anything, I know you might think like because the way we've grown, but that small feeling, that family experience is what our culture is all about.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly explained. And
a little all over there, but that's
just a little all over. But once I tell the story, it really hits the family culture of it. So obviously, like I'm fairly open to talk about this, but January 1st of 2022, like I had a seizure, and it progressed throughout that year. And not once did I have to worry about how my career would go throughout the company, because obviously with seizures, you're not allowed to drive, right? You would see the car industry, and it's like, well, driving's like the basis of it. It's all surrounded around cars. You know, I was taking photos of vehicles and everything like that. So from the minute it happened, there was never no worry. My dad was able to reach out to your dad to ask for advice on the situation. Like that was like the first phone call my dad made was to your dad about it, to help him through the process of like, what do we do? What doctors do we go see? You know, so not only for me, but for my dad, there was like a helping hand through the situation to guide him through it. And not only did you guys not make me worry about my job or anything like that, it actually made me excel. I went from just taking pictures of cars to then I was home and I was able to drive for over a year. And within that allowed me to, if you want to say, be a better speaker, work better with managers, like talk better. Now that we have a podcast and everything like this thinking, like my thought process was able to excel.
You got the suit jacket on now.
I got a suit jacket on now. So that's where this whole podcast idea came. Like I was home. And so there was no worries. There was help all along the way. When I had another seizure throughout it, it's like no worries, like take your time, figure it all out. So not only was there literally no worries about my job, it actually caused me to excel and grow within it. And I truly can't thank you and your family enough for that, because it helped me, my dad, and my family throughout all the situation, every step of it.
It's definitely a super tough time, and we're actually super happy that you're, first off, better, getting back on track. And I'm sure you still have your crazy doctor's appointments, all that stuff, but I would say from when that was happening to now, you're in a 1 million times better place. And
100%.
Not just as health-wise, as a human, you've grown professionally, which I could watch my own eyes. Kind of took the podcast in your wing, doing other content. You seem unbelievably driven. But I just want to tie this back real quick with, we talk about family, that's our culture. And we stand by it, we live by it, we die by it. But also this is a people business, and not just people dealing with customers, but with our own employees. And you got to stand by it. And if you're not willing to help another person through tough times, well, like just because times are good, you got to be able to help them at all times of their life. It's scary for them more than it is scary for you, so you got to understand that. And I just think I was always taught when I was younger, like my values were always help the other person no matter what. It's not the easiest thing to do, but what they're going through is worse. So yeah, we're glad you're better, and it's just great to have you back too. So
no, I appreciate that. I really couldn't thank you guys enough. And to tie that back, or not tie it in back, but going to another thing is like, not just as a car dealership, what would you say sets Healey apart from just other businesses as a whole when it comes to their values?
Right off the bat, I don't even have to think about it. It's people. Our people are just straight up better, disciplined, go-getters. They're driven. Our training is just better. We just find the right people. We attract the right people. We train people. We don't just find people from the auto industry either. We find them from all different industries, from the food industry, the restaurant industry. It's amazing to see, but hands down, there's no other doubts about it. It comes down to our people and how we treat other people. So 1,000%.
I mean, hey, with people with my situation, your brother drove me somewhere once when I couldn't get an Uber. When I needed a ride back, I just went to AMO. I was like, can you help me get a ride to Kia? She met with the shuttle driver. I had to wait for him to come back from a couple trips and whatnot. But it was like, there was it's a big connection within the situation. Where
Yeah, I mean, we put it into our people first off. Like, they just go and do things to help someone else, and you don't even have to train them. They just know to do it. It's like our values, and they just go and done. But yeah, our biggest asset, without even thinking about it, and I think you could ask any single one of our people in my family or management team, is the people that work at Healey.
So with people and cultures and everything, obviously Healey has they got it last year. They finally got to it. Was the Driven to Give Foundation. But even prior to the foundation, Healey was always engaged in the community.
Yeah.
So what really inspired and continues to inspire the company and your family to be so engaged in the community? I
mean, our foundation name is Healey Brothers Driven to Give Foundation. So it's a little play on the auto industry, but it's just being involved in the community.
You know, I never caught on to that.
Yeah, it's a little pun. It's a little pun, right?
I'm about being a plane, so I never even gone.
You've only worked here since you're about. I don't think you can walk.
Whatever the hell.
Yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, so the Driven to Give Foundation is, I think we talked about this in one podcast. It's so dear to our heart. We've always been about the community. I mean, all our employees, 500 plus employees, live in the community. And we wanted to find the real way to really put our stamp on it, and it was the Driven to Give Foundation, which we started. And just being able to help the community, help young men and women start a career, or even help the food bank. It could do things that we truly love and stand by on a higher level, because we can get more money in that fund, and we can make a bigger impact on the community. We're always helping these organizations here and there. We're still making an impact, getting out there, having our employees help. But this way, we can have one area and really drive the dollars to work in our community for the things that we truly believe in and love.
Okay. Was there like an exact moment you can remember for yourself?
I mean, I think the foundation, if I really think back, I first got out of college, I was just like, always like, Dad, and to my uncle, why don't we have our own foundation? I feel like that'd be the right thing to do. We're always going to all these different charity events and donating here, donating there. Why don't we put it in one area and really decide the ones we care so much about and really make a big impact in our community? And finally, well, I think it's two years ago now, with the help with an organization in our local community, Orange County Foundation. I'm drawing a blank on their name, but they really helped us out start it, and we were able to start our own foundation, had our first event, raised a pretty good amount of money to really help, and a lot of other businesses came and donated to it. It was an amazing first event and kickoff, and people really saw how much it meant to us, which is like it's like breathtaking to really think. And then you finally got it done. My grandfather's like super proud moment that because he's talked about it. My dad was like, wow, it's amazing to actually have your own foundation, have that. So, and it came with a lot of help too. Like JK helped us, Laura, Andrew Green, my dad, my uncle. It was a whole big part of us that got it over the finish line. But now we could finally say we have our own foundation, and we could really put that stamp on the community.
So you're talking about the young men and women, right? Because obviously, Driven to Give Foundation, you work with like can't think of names, like tech and other I don't know if you want to call them like schools in the area. So a lot of younger people, especially like if you want to say kids that are into cars and whatnot, like they're interested in the car dealership and they're interested in the automotive industry. So obviously your life has evolved around it. What would you say is like the best like entry level positions that you can kind of recommend to, whether they have experience in anything or like no experience?
I mean,
you say is the entry level.
Some of the best mottos, like, I didn't mean to talk over here, but some of the best mottos come from your dad, come from James Barrett.
Where did you start at?
Yeah, so no, the mottos like you guys have for hiring, like,
Oh, okay.
you have to have, if you have some, I don't care if you have any auto expertise. We have enough training programs and training that can help you. As long as you have the drive, the determination, and the discipline to learn, I think you can do anything here. I mean, we will take anyone to be a salesperson and train them up. And some of our best salespeople came from other industries. They had no idea about the auto industry. And I think you'll see one of them. So it's about Tia. No idea.
Oh,
Absolutely.
ShopRite?
Yeah.
ShopRite.
She had no idea about it. Now she's one of the top salesmen. Now she's even she's a finance manager at one of our stores. We've had guys that come not even knowing how to be a technician. They start just watching a mentor program, learning from OEMs, being trained by our master techs. It's amazing to see. We have guys that come in. We had a guy, he's called Lot Spot Duke now. He started
Duke.
cleaning cars when he was 16. Learned it just watching salesmen, learned it, knew everyone, just started listening how they talk to people, asked for an opportunity, and now he's a top 5 salesman every single month in our whole organization.
Use social media.
Oh my God, don't even start with him. I get on him about that. He does it. It's usually Mini Duke that he puts on his son.
It is always Mini Duke flying on a zip line.
There's so many entry opportunities. Like I said, you don't need to know anything about the auto industry. As long as you're willing to learn and follow through, you can have a very successful career here. And we're not just a place where you're just gonna go, and if you go and sit at one spot and feel comfortable, we want you to grow. Like, you should be determined to grow your career, to be a general manager, the manager of sales manager, whatever it is, to grow your career. There's no point not to. And if you're just gonna want to sit in one spot, I don't think Healey's this place for you, to be honest. Like, you have to want to grow. So when it comes down to entry level job, just come in, put an application if you want to be a part of the Healey group.
So they don't even have to have an exact position.
Yeah, I mean, you could start from anywhere. If you want to learn how to be a salesman, we will train you to the day. If you want to learn how to be a technician, as long as you go through the process of our application process and we think you have the right drive, be a technician. There's so many different entry level ways to get in here, or even talk to someone how to be a part of the Healey team, that it's limitless. But like I said, you gotta have drive. If you don't have drive, it's not the place for you.
Drive is something that, not even just in your career, you need like every aspect of your life. Truthfully, like drive is a big thing. But obviously with your career, like it really propels you. So for me, I can think of 2 perfect examples for like becoming in an entry level, and they're both at our Poughkeepsie Chevy location. One is one of our technicians, Braden. He went to, I want to say, SUNY Dale High for automotive. I want to say he went to Dale. I'm not 100% sure. So when he first started to work at us, he didn't even come in as a technician. He worked in our service drive as like a service drive attendant. I don't remember how long he was in the service drive attendant. And now I want to say he's an A-Tech with his training, works on engines, transmissions, and he's, if you want to go by rankings, like the number 3 technician behind like Tommy Gill, my brother, at Poughkeepsie Chevy. And he first started as a service drive attendant. And another service drive attendant at Poughkeepsie Chevy is Dylan. I can't think of his last name, but now he's a salesman at Poughkeepsie Chevy. So that's like a complete entry-level job for you, is just being a service drive attendant, and you don't know where it's going to lead. It's pretty simple.
Another quick one that I did when I first got out of college, I started as a valet. So we call it valet. So in the service drive, you're helping check customers in. Then it turned into a quick service writer. So you have your iPad, you go around if they're just here for 6K, or their prepaid maintenance plan, or whatever they're here for. You just check them in as long as it's like a first service. And then you move up to an advisor. So then there's a quick process where you learn everything slowly, and then you move into advisor. That was a great entry job level to see from when the customer first arrives, whether they're there for an issue or just maintenance. So that's a big eye opener one. If you're getting out mad, you learn real quick how to handle it. or you're getting out there happy, you had to greet them, get them water, coffee, hold the door for them. So you learn these little customer service things, these entry-level jobs too, that you don't really think about, that actually help you more than anything. So that's another great one I was thinking of. I mean, that's really how I started after college. I was obviously working before college, but my uncle's like, hey, we're starting here, and you're going to see the whole loop all the way around.
Is this kind of the same process that your brother's going through?
Yeah, so Dylan did the same thing. He's bouncing around some different stores to get some different feel of how different managers handle stuff, learn some different things. I stuck with one store, went through the whole process all the way up. A little different. I go to all the stores now, and I kind of see how they interact, but both at the end of the day, you learn so much, and everyone's willing to teach you too. Not just me. Like I walk in and I see managers and James Barrett working with guys. It's sales, even the delivery coordinators. Like, hey, let's know this product a little better. Hey, let's go over it. And he'll just go and take someone outside and quiz them on it. Like knowing the product, like little things like that. Yeah,
back in school.
Exactly, and it's phenomenal to see. But at the end of the day, it gives the customer a better experience.
I can think of some other jobs, just to name to some of our listeners or audience, whoever's listening or watching to this, that you might not even think of if you're looking to get in. Something as simple as a lot attendant.
Parts driver.
Zero experience is needed, but get your foot in the door to work in the car industry. No matter what you're really interested in doing. A lot attendant, you're sitting there for not knowing what it is. Like, you just organize our lot. You take new cars in, you organize our lot and everything. Shuttle driver is another easy one.
Delivery coordinator.
And Josh Santos, business manager at Ford.
Yeah.
He used to be a shuttle driver at Poughkeepsie Chevy when I was a kid. Like, that's what he did.
Oh wow! I didn't even realize that. So
I know he had left for a short time period, but he used to be a parts driver and a shuttle driver.
And just fell in love with the auto industry.
And fell in love with the auto industry, and now he's a business manager. So that's just one simple one you could think of that I'm assuming a lot of people don't even realize as a position is a lot attendant or a shuttle driver. I mean, maybe they know about it.
Yeah, and we have guys all the time just detail, our detail shop.
Detailers as well.
Detail shop, they're around the sales team. The sales team talks on how they do, how they operate, how the training is, and they're like, let me give that a try.
Customer experience within that.
Well, it's not that. I think you're really working with the sales team, and they're saying, hey, you're good at, they know the flow of how you respond and how you talk to people. So they get the flow and I could try that. Look at Dietz. Dietz was in our yeah. What? Now he's one of our top salesmen at Ford.
There you go.
There's those little things and then you get the confidence my friend now is this, he saw Elijah became a salesperson, top salesperson. He's like, well, I could do this. So there's a lot of opportunity, and it could start from just an entry level job, and even at that, you can still get some sort of training and discipline put into you and customer skills that you need.
Yeah, when I was saying you do get customer experience skills within the prep department, because I used to work in there. If there's an issue with a new car, whether it's hey, you left smudges on it, this, that, yada, 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 you might take that for granted that it's just a smudge that you left on a car you cleaned, but it teaches you about fixing a problem. And any type of thing, you're going to be fixing a problem, no matter what your position is. Whether you're...
It's always going to happen, whether you're a perfectionist.
Anything. You're always going to have to fix a problem. So, just something as simple as detailing a car, you actually learn how to fix a problem. And I think my dad was...
And attention to detail, it teaches big time.
I think my dad was talking about it with technicians, where it's a fulfilling experience. When I got this engine running after, 2 days of working on it. It's a big project. This engine is running well. Working in prep as a young teenager is that same thing. You might get a car in that is absolutely disgusting. People love dogs. People love the beach.
Oh yeah, I did it too.
Nicky. Are terrible. You did it too?
Oh yeah, I did.
Those cars are terrible, but that's where it comes with a self-fulfillment. So you learn more in prep than you would kind of imagine that you would as a person from what self-fulfillment feels like.
The used trade-ins that come in aren't the prettiest all the time.
They're not always the prettiest.
Yeah, but
soda in the cup holders, it's not always the prettiest. But it just teaches you that idea of that.
And how hard that job is. It's not the easiest, but those guys, people always forget prep, it might be entry, but the importance of it is huge, because you're giving that customer the first time they see their car perfectly clean. And you have to remember, they want it to be perfect. It's something they invested in that's so dear and near to their heart, because it's their second biggest investment, and they want that thing perfect. So you have to have attention to
warranties that the prep department has to install.
Correct. They do the Simonize, they do a lease card, that kind of stuff. So that's another important thing. They have to be done right, because it needs to protect the car. It needs to protect the car. They also be willing to reply it again if the customer wants to reapply it again, because that's part of the contract as well. So they have more responsibility than it seems, but they do have a lot of responsibility. And it's a good starter to learn some discipline, learn how to take care of a customer, see them upset if you do make a mistake, because mistakes happen. It's how you learn. But it's definitely a great spot to start as well.
100%. And like the service valet, I think the best thing that would teach you is people skills.
Oh yeah. You can get the hornets real quick. That one.
That would definitely teach you.
Especially at 7 a.m. when they start flowing in.
I forgot that they come that early.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeez.
It's the best.
Oh man. So what are some trends you've seen over time with Healey and the automotive industry? Because obviously you've been in it for.
I mean, yeah. I think I was born actually at our store. So back in 1992. No, I'm kidding. But a lot's changed. Mostly technology. You see change, and you start to realize that every single car made is really a good car with the technology. The way they make them, the stuff they have in them is phenomenal. But the thing I've seen change most in Healey is the way people have grown and the way people care to stay here. You don't see that in other dealerships. And I went to NADA, and you hear dealerships turn over 50% of their people. We have like 70 people that have been over here 15 years. Like that's a long time of your work life. We have none of our managers rarely ever leave. We do have some salespeople turnover, but I guarantee if you go into any of our stores, you notice that your whole Healey career, you'll notice very similar people.
Chevy's salesman ever since I was a kid. Duke, Christine.
They retire before they leave.
Paul Vendetti, Perm retired. If I don't know.
Yeah, Perm retired.
He retired.
Yeah, I remember Perm.
Tom Mead worked there. He doesn't work with us anymore.
No, so he was older salesman, but he's actually coming back to help out.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he had retired. I don't know what the case scenario was, but if I think of that Poughkeepsie Chevy showroom, like I started working. When do you get your working papers? When you're 14?
Yeah, I have to go back. I have to go back and legally check that.
Is it 14 or 13? You don't know?
Yeah. We're gonna have to legally. We have to check with Frank.
I'm turning 23, so I know it's at least 9 years ago. It was the first summer I worked there. I think if I was really to count out the salesmen that are still there from when I started, whenever that was 2014, it's probably at least like 75% of.
Look at the technicians that stay and still work.
Tommy Gill. We just had his ceremony last year.
I know.
I think
he came with the
dealership, and your grandfather was still involved with it. He's the one who hired him.
Yep.
It's pretty insane. He's about to retire. I don't even know how many years that is.
I couldn't even tell you. It's more. Yeah, it was something 30. Something crazy.
I was gonna say it's got to be 30.
I mean, he has the highest levels of GM I think they've ever seen.
He does everything.
He's got everything. That's for sure.
I don't mean to make fun of him, but they all call him. I don't know if you guys know. They call him the Gillosaurus.
Oh, because he's
based off his age and walks with his arms and weird.
That's stuff we love. We have Andy, who's been with us 12 years. He's the general sales manager at Chevy Poughkeepsie. He's retiring. Chevy retiring next week, but
that's next week.
Yeah, he's retiring in September, but his dinner and that going away is all next week. But these guys, these women have been with us for 10, 15, 20 years, and it's amazing to see. They retire before anyone leaves. We still have turnover, but it's more in the 10%, not the 50, 60% that happens in the auto industry. It's just you can't fathom it. It's just unbelievable.
Something my dad at Tommy Gill's ceremony had to remind me of. I think actually it was Tommy's wife reminded me of. Even because of my dad's worked, I don't know what year he started working here before I was born. But I guess I was in their pool when I was a little kid. I don't even remember because of how young I was, my memory. I remember falling down when Chevy was in Beacon. I don't know why my dad brought us there to brush the floor when I was a little kid. And I remember I couldn't stay on my feet.
He's teaching you how to get it done.
On soapy floors, and I
teaching you work ethic.
So this is stuff that he reminded me of over time. And I sit there and I really realized he's been here a long time.
You want to hear another crazy
child
story?
At that.
Candy Jablonski. We call her Aunt Candy. She was with my grandfather at the original store.
And where does she work?
She's our controller.
Okay.
So over 45 years, she has been with Healey Brothers.
That is a long time.
She came. We call her Aunt. We call her Aunt Candy. I swear, and she's been with us that long. That's something
double
special.
My age.
Yep. It's amazing. And she just doesn't retire. She just keeps going. She just keeps going. She never wants to stop.
Some people don't want to stop working.
It's amazing.
Some people really don't.
There's so many people that have been here forever. You just think of more and more people. It's just amazing to see.
I can't even think about it.
And you're always seeing the same faces. That also helps the customer. The customer doesn't want to see new faces every time they walk in the door. They feel comfortable with the people they know. They want that same service every single time. They don't have to worry about the trust issue. They trust you and stuff like that. That's a big thing. Trust and loyalty run together. So when they see a familiar face, they know that person. That's huge. So the longevity of our employees and the small turnover is a huge strength to Healey Brothers. And again, people.
People. Look at that. It did come full circle back to
Perfect.
people. Yeah. Well, is there like how can I word this? Like a trend that you've seen with like customer base, maybe about like their expectations or how we handle our customer base? Has there been a trend where it's gone a certain direction with that?
I mean, I think customers nowadays, they want the highest end of customer satisfaction and experience, because I think they're going less places. Well, not in the last couple of years, obviously, because there's no inventory around, so people just needed a car.
Gotta go to Jersey, you gotta go.
But before the whole pandemic, the car buyers were going in less places, and I think they wanted that custom experience when they went to that place, something so special. Like, say we're in Lincoln right now, we're sitting in the Black Label room. They get their Lincoln, they want that custom experience. There's not even a desk in here. You put it up on the screen over there, and they show you your car, you go over the options, or whether you order the car, you come in here, you hang out a little bit, you talk to the salesman, you go over the salesman.
Draws have these spheres.
Yeah, and you're just going over your car. It's relaxed, it's a customized setting, and you got the cars out there. You can go for a test drive. Phenomenal coffee by Valkyrie back there. There's just so many customizations that just make you feel super, super relaxed for that customer experience. And this goes for all brands. Like, say you want a certain Hyundai, you call in and you want the Palisade. That Palisade is going to be ready for your appointment. It'll be cleaned, it will have gas, and you will be able to test drive it. You'll be assigned to a sales consultant, and they will make sure everything that you were looking for, they're going to have ready. And whether it fits your budget or not, they'll help you find the right vehicle for you. They're going to customize everything they need to make you a happy person and make you feel comfortable with that purchase. So it all comes down to that custom experience. I think we do that too at every single facility, because if you're not doing that, if you're not tailoring it to that person, I think you're missing on actually what a customer experience is. It can't be the same for everyone.
So to really summarize, I guess the trend really is to make sure our customer experience has been perfect.
Yeah, and for service too. Now you have these big service drives, so there's no more bringing your car up when you're in the
Hyundai today. Was it 3-bay?
Yeah, 3-bay service drive in that new facility. But even, I know we're just sitting here in Lincoln, but another example, you pull your car in, the tires up there, your expectations are higher now because the facilities have more technology, they can do more things. But you walk in these beautiful lounge areas to relax, Wi-Fi, we drive you to wherever you need. You have loaner cars, you have rental cars. So these expectations got higher for customers because we upped our level, but we're willing to drive a level even higher if we need to give that customer the customized experience they need.
Okay, so the true trend has just been...
Yeah, and I think the customer deserves it though. At the end of the day, they're spending a lot of money, and you want to give them that experience, because it's not the cheapest thing to take care of your car or purchase a vehicle. So you have to be able to go above and beyond to take care of them.
To wrap it up, what is one thing that you think all customers should know, not even just about Healey? Like, what's something they should learn about dealerships and their expectations to come in? Like, what is something that they should learn? Because, we're all about, like, teaching them something, like giving them information, not just like selling them on a product. We want to guide them and give them information. So what's the one thing you think that we should let them all know and teach them?
I would say the most important thing, so I got it, is just to enjoy the experience and breathe and relax. Our team is unbelievably qualified to show you the way, help you, and find the car that fits your budget and needs at all times.
I think that's amazing. I wasn't expecting that. It's basically the thing that you would teach them the most too, is just relax and trust.
Yeah, and enjoy the experience. It's stressful sometimes for people. You need to breathe, relax. You have trained professionals and people that are really looking out for your best interests, because they want to make you happy at the end of the day. Sometimes I know in the consumer's perspective it's not, but believe me, when they have happy customers, their life is a lot easier too, and we want the service life to be a lot easier, because that flow back and forth has to work. So enjoy the experience, love what you get, what you purchase, how you service, and just stay calm. You're in the hands of professionals, like I said.
So truthfully, the last thing we've got here is, I know you've said that Healey's always adapting, and then we've recently updated our mission statement and our core values.
Yeah, so our big belief too at Healey is you got to adapt to the times, adapt to the consumer, adapt to your environment. So you always got to grow. So you can't be stagnant, whether it's your core, you have core values, but they have to adapt to mold a little bit and change slightly. And we felt like our mission statement and core values were not getting a little older and not with the times. So we really adjusted and we updated them. We made a simpler mission statement that sticks to our mission, and then we have our 5 core values. So
let's hear it.
So for our mission statement, we got utilizing cutting-edge automotive technology and training to give our customers a seamless, stress-free buying and servicing experience to earn their business for life. So that pretty much talks on building that customer loyalty, which we talk about all the time, and how important it is to have customer loyalty. You can have good customer satisfaction, but that means they could still go anywhere else. When you have loyalty, that means they only do business with you. So that's what it is, and it's making our people find that mission to get that customer to be loyal for life. Then we have our core values. I mean, I think anyone that works at Healey could pretty much guess what these are, these updated ones, and there's a couple that have always been one of our values. So we got family, trust, attitude, innovative, and drive. And we touched on those a little all the time. With the technology, we're always adding the drive of new employees. If you don't have drive here, like I said, Healey's not the place for you. You have to be driven, committed, dedicated, and you could have a great career. And then family. What more can we say about family? It's our culture. So there's those we just touched on quickly, and it's so much more. And there's meaning behind all of it. And then you just gotta have the right attitude too. So attitude doesn't mean coming in here all droopy and being all miserable. Be excited, be happy, show customers you care. Have a smile. Having just a smile on your face goes so much further than you know. Getting someone a cup of coffee, holding them the door, having that personality, having a good attitude doesn't mean, it means dressing sharp, looking clean cut, put together. That's part of your attitude. That's showing the customer who you're about, what you're doing, how you're ready to help them. And then one of the most important is always trust. If you're not building trust, you just can't do business. We want to have integrity, and that comes back to trust, and it comes the whole process, whether it's in service, trust, fix their vehicles, give them the best prices possible. They have trusted us to find the right car that fits their budget. Don't overpush their budget. Just find the right car for them. Find everything that fits. Find the right safety features for their families and all that stuff. So there's so many different things that come back to those core values in that mission statement. We just thought it was a time to adjust and update, and I think it came out great. We sent them out to the employees, and the feedback for the update was phenomenal. I think I was getting texts and emails back by the dozens, and it was amazing to see, and they all felt proud to be a part of it. It was I think my dad and my uncle and both my uncles, they were like in love with that minor change, and they were all about it. They thought it was like, absolutely, let's change this now. So now in the HR process, they'll have that in there. But yeah, so that's always about adapting, and we're always doing that. And I hope the consumer, and I know they will, see that we stand by those.
I think you said this at lunch today, and this goes for consumers. This can go for employees, but when in doubt, Healey Brothers is out.
Yeah, when in doubt, Healey Brothers is out. That's a good little line. New T-shirts, huh?
New T-shirts are great, yeah.
All right, Nicky, that was a fun one.
Yeah, I like this one.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.